can't take it, I 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 can't take it. I cannot take it. That man likes me. No matter how you spin it. And I'm hurt because it's like, mind you, I have my little spiritual bullshit, whatever the fuck it is, and I have a gut feeling that I shouldn't fuck this man's life up. And I guess I had an epiphany a bit ago. I thought to myself, I want to be able to do as I have done to other people. I want to hurt him one last good and final time, at least so I can say I've done it and fully fucking move on and forget all about him. And then I can succeed in my life and do whatever the fuck else I feel I need to do to finally get my life on track so I can never put myself in a situation to get hurt by a man like this again. I'll start drinking turmeric water with butterfly PT powder so that I can stop the brain inflammation from endless amounts of Mountain Dew. I'll get back into witchcraft fully. If it means I can manifest the life I want, I will shave almost every hair that is from the neck down. I will constantly shower and shave and oil myself daily and eat high protein meals. I just ordered some fucking food a second ago because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try. I want to try to be good. I'm not gonna get an order of like fucking 7-Eleven chicken and a big bottle of Mountain Dew despite my calling to do so, because I read online, even though I've known this a million fucking times, just like how I know loving men hurts you a million fucking times, eating shitty food that you consume fucks up your gut, and your gut directly ties to your brain. And I thought to myself, okay, I don't want to keep being a psychotic little bitch. I want to be healthy. I want to be good. So let me go ahead and order some food. And luckily, this one place that actually was really good had a happy hour where it's like steamed rice with fucking furikake and sesame seeds and kimchi. And I fucking hate kimchi, but I ate it anyway because I wanted to be healthy. And I ate kimchi and it didn't taste as bad as before, so I ate more of it because I know that kimchi is a probiotic that can help improve your gut health and your gut strength and how you mentally function. And I ate the fucking chicken. Some of it was sweet, some of it was spicy. They said they'd give me a sesame sauce. They gave me a spicy one. I don't know how to feel about it, but spice is good for the brain because it gives you healthy endorphins that you need to survive. And that's good, and that's dandy, and that's so important. And I feel good eating it. I feel better. I feel the difference already. It feels great, and I like it. I do. It makes me feel healthy, just like how I fucking felt healthy when I met Mitchell, and how it felt like maybe my life wasn't a total piece of shit. Oh my god. And I drank my vitamins. I did. And I feel better. And I know you're like, do you really feel better? Because you instantly pulled out a phone and started crying. I guess because I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. No matter how I spin it, I can't wrap my head around it. But just a second ago, I was talking to myself. And I was like, I want to hurt Mitchell one last time. Like I have with the others. One last, final fucking time. So that at least I know that he's suffering in the same way I am, if not worse. And I was considering doing some really awful, terrible things. Things that I know would ruin my reputation. Or everything that I've tried to build up for myself even when times get hard. I know. But I'm at the point where it's like who do I connect with anyway? It's not like I have that many people around me now. Why not? But then I thought to myself, it would morally degrade my character. I can't do something like that. I've experienced it. I know how that would be. I can't do that to him. And I kind of thought to myself, my gut and my arm and whatever senses in my body are telling me that I shouldn't. I have a weird feeling he's going to come back and things are going to go well between us. And I don't know why that sensation's there, because I'm not getting any signs of that being true or accurate at all. I highly fucking doubt it, actually. And I don't know how to feel. And I feel so stressed and weird and strange. But as I was talking to myself, I thought to myself, I could just do it. And even if not that, I could do anything big or small I have in my brain to have his one last final stab to his gut. Metaphorically, of course. Just to hurt him a bit. And then I can move on in my life knowing that I at least moved on. Because if I reflect on the times I was able to move on from people, some of them, I just had to tough it out. Some of them, I wasn't able to move on until families got contacted, until I had to tell fucking mothers, hey, your son's a rapist and a piece of shit, until I had to tell sisters, hey, your brother's a gaslighting fucking cunt who's emotionally abusive, until I made a mess out of his entire social scene where he feels embarrassed to be around other people and he's getting strange messages from his friends. I know it's not the best thing, but it's what I've done. I've done worse. I've done much worse. I've done really, really bad things. And I know the question is, do you want to keep doing bad things to me? That is a great question. To an extent, yes. To an extent, yes, I do. I want to hurt people who do me wrong. I remember the first man I ever actually really crashed out on in that extent. He said, "What do you think you're gonna gain from this so-called vigilante justice of yours?" I said, "A lot more than I would get if I did nothing and let you be fine, as I'm fighting every single second of the day, not trying to die." Sometimes you have to do things that don't make sense to other people. Funny enough, I never talk about that guy. The first guy I ever crashed out on. It got really, really bad, really, really messy. I prefer to repress all of the memories. There's nothing worth saying. It doesn't change how I feel. But like I said, I was talking to myself, and I guess I kind of thought to myself I could just do something really bad. And if me and Mitchell are fated to have an interaction again that's positive, or have any sort of positive connection, I'm pretty sure he'll forgive me. If it's fated, he'll forgive me, right? Like, let's say it's like you had a gut feeling in your body that was like you are fated to meet this one specific individual that you don't expect them to. Like, imagine the worst op you have, like the worst enemy you've had, the worst villain in your story, or just someone you fucked over really, really badly. One of your victims, so someone you hurt, all of that. And imagine you just had a weird, undeniable sensation of they are coming back, and I'm sure of it, and I know they will. And it pisses me off because it's like, I want to ignore it, but I can't. And I don't know what that fucking means anymore. I thought to myself I could just hurt him, and if I am supposedly, as my body's telling me and whatnot, if I am supposed to be in contact with him, he can forgive me, right, if it's fated. But even I know that wouldn't be true. I know it wouldn't. Because if it were supposedly true, I don't know. And I kind of thought to myself, what if I hurt him? And then if he is supposed to come back, like, I don't know, he could forgive me, right? But I kind of told myself, no, wouldn't that be hypocritical? Because then that would be him forgiving you for all the bad you've done when you can't even extend the same grace to him. And that hurt like a fucking sledgehammer through the wrist. And I was like, fuck, I'm right. And that pissed me off. And I thought to myself, what is this so-called amazingly big sin that Mitchell's done to you? And I was like, not admitting his feelings for me and being afraid to love me out of fear of getting hurt. And I told myself, wouldn't it prove him right if you went out of your way to hurt him instead of showing him the grace, the kindness, the sweetness, and the poise that you truly think he deserves? Because if you truly loved someone, would you go out of your way to hurt them? You wouldn't, because you love them. You wouldn't do that if you truly had feelings for someone and loved them. You would not aim to hurt them in that way. And that's true. It doesn't piss me off any less, but it's true. And then it's like, okay, so do you love him or do you not? Because I think if you loved him, you wouldn't want him hurt. Or do you love him but you want him hurt because you want to punish him? And I don't think you're supposed to punish people for being afraid of you, even if they allegedly have no reason to be afraid, which is true. But still, you don't have to live up to be the monster that people paint you as. Plus, Mitch already did that to himself. He already painted himself as a villain in my eyes, or like a bad guy. Not for the shit he actually should have, but even when we hung out, he was afraid that I would find him so boring. and so pathetic and uninteresting. I remember I had to tell him I have been smiling. I was drunk as hell, and I meant it. I said, when have you ever seen me not smiling ear to ear as I'm hanging out with you? I'm able to talk to you for hours, and I hope I can talk to you for even more, because I genuinely like your company that much. And it hurts me to think that you don't think that I like you. I don't know, man. I hate this shit. Trust me. I'm pissed off. Don't worry, I am self-aware that he did hurt me. He did. He did a lot worse. When I was suicidal, he didn't even try to, like, really make an effort to reach out. One single attempt at a phone call with no message, no anything. And even then, I just didn't answer the phone because I didn't know it was his number, but I called back, he didn't answer. I called more times, he didn't answer. I don't know. Also, not to mention, he did sexually assault me. I keep brushing past it, but it's not something I can brush past because that did happen. That is very true. I repress it because I like him, but I have to remember it's like, he did that to you. He knew you were drunk. He knew you were barely able to move your own limbs. He knew what the fuck he was doing, and he, with a smile on his face, kissing your neck, doing all he could to your body. He's a sick fuck. He's lucky that I don't stab him in the fucking neck. It helps that he lives far away. I still want to hurt him a little bit, but not too much. I don't know. Like I said, has he fucked up my New Year so far? Absolutely. Though I'm still trying to hold myself accountable in certain ways, it's like, okay. Like, I get it. People can be assholes, but it doesn't mean you have to stop your life just to keep crying and drinking Mountain Dew. So it's like, I'm trying. I'm getting on the path of, like, I'm gonna start being confident again. I'm gonna start living my life. And he still did help in certain ways. To an extent. But I don't know. No offense, I feel like the damage kind of was worse than any gains. If he didn't fuck up the beginning by trying to sexually assault me, and if he didn't fuck up the end by heartlessly abandoning me after hyping up something with me, maybe it wouldn't have hurt so much. I wouldn't still be crying about some shit that happened in December on February 8th, you know? I'm so hurt. I'm trying to fight past it. I am. I know. If you're like, we missed the version of Tamia that used to just make silly happy videos. Well, that type of version hasn't been around for a while anyway, so. You know, I am aware that some things can't be pinned all on Mitchell. But I'm just saying, it's like I remember after I hung out with him, I was so close to just going, I'm gonna have a happy life again. I'm gonna have a life that I genuinely enjoy. I'm gonna feel, and it could have been that way. I remember after I hung out with him, nothing, like after the week we had together, I remember I went home and I had hella different things trying to piss me off at once, but none of them did, not even slightly, because I was just over the moon and happy I got to meet him. I would have loved to have been his friend. Give me a second. I think that's the most tragic thing, is that if you were to go down the list of all the times I've been hurt, it was people not just seeing me as a friend. They didn't think they could be honest with me. They didn't think they could talk to me. Funny enough, when I was younger, I used to think to myself, this is a little too disturbing to say, and I'm not saying I want it now, I'm just saying, I kind of thought to myself, if I was disfigured, who would stick around? It might even be a blessing, because certain people wouldn't even cross paths with me. I might get objectified less. I might get people who actually talk to me and aren't afraid of, like, oh no, she's so beautiful, she's so smart, interesting, sexy, blah blah blah. I must be terrified of her. I must lie to her. I must manipulate her. I'm tired of it. Ugh. I feel like shoving a barbecue fork through my skull from how frustrated I am, but I only have a plastic one, so we should all be happy that I can't pull a higurashi on myself. If anyone gets that reference from the chick with the knife, who was, yeah, that was cool. I'm just in distress. And it doesn't help that my Instagram algorithm is such a fucking cunt. So I'll be minding my business and then I'll see I'll see a meme along the lines of that will be like, "Oh, look, this guy left his girl because he had feelings for her too much and he left because he was afraid of getting hurt." And I thought to myself, "Oh my, that's happened to me plenty of times." Like, bitch, I will be in, like, a decent mood, and then I'll check Instagram, and it'll be a meme like this that's like, oh, why did you leave? I started liking you too much and would rather go now than stay and potentially risk getting hurt. And then that just feels like 10 gunshots to the chest. It's like, bitch, memes are supposed to be funny. Please. I'm angry. This one says, never regret the kindness you've shown even to men that don't care if you live or die. Yep, relatable, because let's just say it's like, yeah, nigga, you knew I was suicidal the whole month and you didn't reach out until it was going to affect you. Fuck you. Oh, and this meme's a personal favorite. Patterns repeat over and over again. Yeah, that's kind of, if you're wondering why I keep making videos in this vein of topic, it's because it's like, oh no, the patterns I'm noticing with my fucking pattern-seeking behavior. I also saw a post, or I've seen more posts that said the type of men that you're attracted to are reflective of what you think I deserve. Oh no! Smite me, oh mighty smiter! I can't believe that I thought that for once in my fucking life I actually deserved a nice, tall, attractive, physically fit, active, decently mentally unstable, but the right amount of mentally unstable where he thinks my mother should get murdered, he would murder her for me, and then he's also, like, would defend me to customer service workers and isn't afraid to be an asshole to the right people, and also would hunt down people who stalk him in cars. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry that I dared to face attraction to somebody. Fucking hell. And I know, it's probably more like, hey, it's me. You probably should have dropped attraction to him the second he tried to gaslight you. It's like, I fucking wish I did. But I saw in his stupid little pathetic face, in his stupid little ignorant, dumbass face with his beautiful big pupils and the way he furrows his brow and the weird curl of his lips and his stupid fucking enamel teeth. Fucking enamels want to shorten those bitches. He needs to take care of himself better. I hate to say it, I looked at that beautiful man's face and I saw a goddamned idiot who was afraid. And I hate it. I love people. So it's like I saw an idiot who was afraid, and instead of being disgusted and appalled, I was frustrated but sad because I thought to myself, that is a boy inside of a man's body who really, really wants to be accepted and loved, and it's like, and he's afraid of fucking being seen as not good enough for me. Or not being seen as good. I should have hated him, I know. I should have hated his ass. I should have hated how defensive he got, but what can I say? I was drunk, and I did really like him. And I hate him so much. I wish he never put me in this position. None of it was hard. And I know I should stop being attracted to a man who even did any of this. It's like if you see the girl who you know damn well wanted to wait for sex, and you know she's drunk and she's not interested, and he's such a terrible man. And the nerve to try to make me feel bad, instead of just saying he was sorry that evening. I want him killed, honestly. And there's more. He didn't have to end things the way he did. He knew it would fuck me up, and he still ended it that way. He knew it would fuck me up. I told him well in advance how my mental condition was like, and how I can get about sex, romance, love, all that, and how I need precisely well communicated, clear communicated shit. Otherwise, I'd lose my goddamn mind. He knew. I should do that. I think I know what I'm gonna do, and I should do it tonight so that I can get it over with. And if that doesn't work, I'll do something worse. I'm okay with that. I want him to feel hurt, because why the fuck do I have to sit here crying after 2 months because this man couldn't keep his hands to himself? Because he was too cowardly with the most easy to communicate person in the world. The whole time it's like, oh, you're acting like nigga, you're out here acting like the ring you got me is an engagement ring. You're out here hyping up the idea of us actually being a couple. You're out here literally sticking your tongue in my ass any fucking opportunity you could, even when it's unnecessary. We would be in the shower, I'd be like, hey, did I get all the soap out of my ass crack? How's it looking down there? And he would bend down, spread my cheeks, literally sniff my hole, lick it, motorboat my cheeks, and then be like, yeah, it's all good. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. All of it's baffling. I'm just so baffled at how cowardly and awful and terrible a person can be. And sadly, a part of me, at least previously, was like, I still would like, I don't know. I know I should leave people's lives a lot sooner. Things get a little hard when you're constantly alone. When you're constantly alone, and you don't enjoy being alone, at least not anymore. And I've been trying to enjoy being alone, but good lord, let's just say I've hit a mental point in my life that is, I think, the most devastating it's been in ages. So it's not quite easy for me. So it's like I prayed for the perfect guy. I guess the devil sent me the best knockoff he could, and that's how I met Mitchell. And in him I see someone who is very easy to love. But he's insecure. He doesn't think he even is lovable. He doesn't think things could work with us. I sadly think it could. And he knows it too. But he's the type of asshole where he could have a fucking 8, almost 9-hour phone call. Feel so at ease talking to me that he falls asleep. The whole time we spent that week together, he fell asleep with me so easily like that. No fucking issue. And that's hard for most people to do. That man was literally fucking begging me to have kids. And hinted that he even was openly thinking about having them with me. Or obviously in the context of marriage, because he runs that way. So do I. And he was saying that there need to be more parents like me on this planet, and people who have kids like me, because I'm caring, smart, intelligent, and nice in a world full of people that aren't. And there need to be more people like me to offset all the bad and to make more people like me. I would have loved to have been his friend. I'm just so tired. I'm so angry. I can't. Sorry. I can't breathe. Have you ever seen someone cry in front of you after 5 days of endlessly being in each other's faces? As they confess that they've had feelings for you the entire time, and they were afraid of things ending, and that they never see you again, and they have complex feelings for you. And imagine things just ended like the next morning after. And they hyped up that it was never going to be your last time seeing each other. You want to know what's fucked up? I have a lifetime of people saying shit like that. One would think I'd get used to it. It's like, no offense. It's like, how many times? It's like, no offense. If I had a stamp card, this would be like my 7th stamp. If this happens 3 more times, I finally get to unlock the right to fucking... I don't know. a free trip to heaven because I'm sitting myself there, I swear to fucking God. And yes, I believe I'm getting into heaven despite all the shit I've done. Surprisingly. Surprisingly. The flames of hell would not totally piss me off either. It's like, whatever. You know, it's like, whatever. Whichever. Man. I'm so angry. I think it's just the denial aspect on his behalf that pisses me off. Like, sir, you spent 9 hours on the phone with me. You literally, I gave you a million chances to hang up. You stayed on the fucking phone. You fell asleep several times. I was gonna hang up. You stayed. You woke up just to stay on the phone. Just to talk to me about useless shit like food or like random stories of each other's families and good shit. Like, what the fuck? And I just, it just. I miss him. I remember how he was when he woke up. When he woke up, he was of course shocked that he was still on the phone, but he was like, sorry, I started zoning out. I remember everything. I know all of the bad that he did. I know all of the good, and I still have some sort of not totally hateful attachment to him. I've mentioned it before in the train station video. If he fell into some tracks, I'd probably help him out. I don't think I'd stick around to keep talking to him though. Because it's like he left me for dead. I'm the type of person where I wouldn't do that to him. I'm known to do that, even when I have hurt people really, really bad. If they needed someone, I was there. I hurt that guy Juan Carlos really bad. I contacted his family, did some fuck shit. And when he needed someone, as fucked up as it was, and I was hesitant to for obvious reasons, I was still there. Don't do shit like that though. Like trauma bonding is not good. But even then, I don't know. Something happened, and the next thing you know, I don't know, he dropped his religion from the shit I did. He questioned his dynamic with his family. He started working on stuff for his own autonomy for the first time in his entire life, if not one of the only times he has ever done that. I remember I told off Morgan's family before. I remember specifically I went hard on his mom and his dad. I criticized his dad for leaving Morgan in a fucking cold, empty bedroom for as long as he did. Like, during his most pivotal forming years as a kid, because that definitely didn't make any sort of, like, socializing or intelligence or, like, empathy skills or anything better. Because it's like, yeah, you're in another room doing every single drug out there and not bonding with your kid. Fuck you. Like, no wonder Morgan came out so fucked up and psychopathic. I also told his mother, you Catholic bitch, you can't just be out here shitting on your son for being a cheater, liar, like, pathetic son of a bitch, when the whole time, the reason he even, like, you were his first exposure to that. You showed him that's what love is. You did nothing. You showed him that it's normal to be fucked up to your partners. You showed him that it's normal to be demented, all that shit. So simply put, fuck you. And I told her, stop preaching that he's gonna burn in hell for shit that he either learned from you or that you do yourself. Because if he's going to hell, then you better keep his seat warm, bitch. And I remember after that happened, things got tense, definitely. But time went by, and then funny enough, he actually thanked me for it. And I remember that because of it, his mom actually started making an effort to invite him over and be nicer to him. And, like, hugging him and stuff, because she didn't realize that she wasn't, like, as caring or as, like, physical of a parent as possible. And she actually put in the effort to, like, I don't know, be less shitty. The thing I was gonna do, Mitchell, I didn't do it fully. I might, because I don't know. What if it does good? And he did already hurt me. It's like, no offense, he still should face some sort of consequences for his actions, because he's disgusting. And it would fuck up his day a little bit, maybe even fuck up his weeks. That would make me happy. And then hey, best of all, what if it did something good? Like, what if whatever happened finally gave him the push needed to either bond better with his family or finally cut them off as he always talked to me about doing? I don't know. There's just like a lot of potential. Like a lot of potential. But yeah, that's how I feel at least. I should probably keep eating my food, but yeah, it's been getting to me. Just the constant reminders of like, here's a guy you really like who really liked you and felt really close and attached to you, and anytime you speak, it's an undeniable presence, a chemistry. He wants you, and he's not allowing himself to be with you because he's a cowardly fucking idiot. He's stupid and egotistical and like lame as shit. And it's a shame. I want him to get therapy. You know, I remember I even told him myself that therapy actually does do wonders. It was one of our conversations we had in the week where we reconnected at some point in January, and we like were on pleasant terms after that phone call. And I mentioned that therapy can be great, because yeah, I told him about how I went from just sleeping in the obvious corner of my room, being miserable as fuck, like doing nasty shit and being miserable and just crying all the time in the fetal position, not moving for anything, not even to shower or eat or anything. Instead, it's like one phone call was all it took, and the next time she saw me, I was like ordering food and cooking again and doing oil pastel paintings and standing up for myself and having a blast. I want him to get help. You know, I think he's a very beautiful, lovable man. I think he needs severe help, and that's coming from me. That's coming from me. He is the type of man where I could picture him being at least like, well, okay, he had his flaws. Ugh, I just remembered something bad he said about sex workers, which is funny. It's like I don't know, he has a weird cognitive dissonance, but then again, that's another issue of his that's stupid as fuck that I also should not be ignoring because he's a fucking idiot. But he did, I remember at some point during the week long hangout we had, the original one, in person. I remember at some point I was talking about the movie Honora, and I said it was a great movie, and he was like, bullshit, she was probably just swindling that fucking guy. And I said, no, no, like, she wasn't. Like, like, how do I put this? She actually genuinely liked him. Like, she was really into him and everything. And he was like, bullshit, there's not a single fucking, and I forget if he said prostitute or sex worker, but he said there's not a single sex worker on this planet that could ever truly be around a guy like that and not swindle him. And I remember he kept walking, and I just kind of stared at him with a small smile. Then he looked back to me, and I don't know, he gave me the same look of, like, he gave me a look that just was like, just no thoughts in his head. I thought to myself, huh, taking note of that is a red flag, definitely. Maybe later I can have a conversation with him in depth about it. Maybe. I thought that. It's not always I can change him. Sometimes it's just like I wonder what painted this image in his head, or I can tell him more about me. But I notice the guys who like me tend to have weird cognitive dissonance about what they think a woman shouldn't be and what they think one should be. And then they meet someone like me, they fall for me, and then they get scared because they're like, I don't know. Isn't she supposed to be the bad that I was told isn't good? And then they have to face the chin music and they pick a side. And I guess Mitchell picked the side that involves not being around me, even though it seems like he had been giving the energy of actually really wanting me. But what can I say? He's not the first. I remember I kicked a guy's ass on his porch because, yeah, I remember I once left a guy peacefully because I thought, hey, he doesn't want me and we should just move on from this. And I remember the little tantrum that man threw. It's like these men, they act perfectly like they don't want you, then you leave, and then they throw tantrums, and they're pathetic. And I remember he was like, I want to kiss you one last time, blah, 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 I'll really miss you, sad to see you go, blah, 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 blah. For me to link up with him a few days later, and because of the male ego and average male intelligence, that one specific ex was like, what, just because I said I missed you and wanted to kiss you, you think that means I wanted you back? And he scoffed in such a way that it made it all too easy for he scoffed and it sent out like echolocation signals that just gravitated the back of my hand to his face. And much more happened, but yeah, that is like, yeah, lots of blood, let's just say. He's okay. He wasn't that injured. He just has a weak ass nose, but fuck him. Anyway, I try to be a good person. I do. I do. I know. One can say to me, if you had more, like, I wouldn't say self worth, more like if you valued who gets your time and energy more. And if I took certain red flags as red flags, insert, because I don't know, nothing makes me more sad than seeing someone where it's like, you want me, I want you, let's do it. Then if you want it so bad, but I don't know, like if I could rewind time, I would have just been, and I had more wisdom, I would have been like, oh, okay, well, he acted like he didn't want me, and now he only wants me because I'm gone. He should never have access to me again. But I thought to myself, fuck it, I could see this working. Maybe he's changing his mind. And, like, if I want him and he wants me and I can't stop thinking about him and vice versa, why don't I give it a chance? But no, people are stupid. If I could rewind a lot of things, I would change a lot of things. I don't know how I feel about the Mitchell thing. If I could rewind time, what would I do? I don't know. If I could rewind time, I would have blocked him the second I got back home and never thought of him again. Or better yet, no, if I could rewind time, I remember a few specific moments where I could have just robbed him of his wallet. But if I wasn't going to rob him, I would at the very least pack up all my stuff neatly the night before so that I could just very quickly and quietly go home the next day without any issue, and leave him abandoned and wondering, oh, what the fuck, I thought she really liked me, I thought we had something. Because it's okay, because even in the reality right now that I live in, he has access to me. He could have me anytime he wants. If he truly wanted to, if he had a lingering feeling it was going to work out, but no. Somehow his gut's telling him it's not going to work out, if it is his gut. His body wants me, his gut's telling him no. How offensive is that? So, I like to think that in another lifetime, or in some alternate reality, I went, this is a man who's pathetic. He's known to communicate this entire time. If you, I told him before we even met, and then even during us meeting, I said, if you have any complex feelings that are difficult to navigate, let me know. I would like to talk them through with you, because I care for you. And, like, I just want to make sure we don't get things twisted because of how I am emotionally. I need things laid out clearly. If I get, like, because as of now, I'm thinking the second this Christmas vacation ends, like, I go home, I block you, and live my life totally fine, and it's just a pleasant memory, and that's all it has to be. It would not be anything more. But if you feel as if you truly do want some sort of friendship or and whatever it is, just let me know, because I would rather it be communicated than not, and there's nothing I hate more than tension. But look at us. We both during that. Not just him, both of us, we both were cowardly. Because I caught feelings for him, and I got nervous. He allegedly caught them for me, and he was hella nervous. Because he was also thinking she isn't what I want, but she also is, but she isn't, but she is. And he was feeling all sorts of complexities over that, too. It hurts. We were just two cowards who didn't know how to confess feelings for each other. But I still know that I was the one who ripped off the band-aid first. And I wish he was man enough to at least say it himself. But he's not. He's a coward. He won't even estrange his own fucking family. Because he's afraid that something's gonna go wrong. He's an anxious man, and he's not very impressive. And that makes me sad, because I thought he was. But it's okay, because even if people have potential, it's okay. Let them squander it. Even if there was anything between me and him, let him squander it. And even if I were to do anything else to fuck him up, I'm gonna let myself be a little bit selfish and say that it wouldn't even be my fault. Like, yes, I took action, but he still is the one who chose to squander it. So I therefore am under no, like, I don't need to make him feel safe or comfortable anymore. Because when roles were reversed and I did a whole lot less worse, he was gone. Vanished. And he didn't care about if I lived or died, truly. He didn't care if I was safe. Sick fuck. He did call once, but he refused to pick up the phone ever again because I missed that call. And even then, yeah, he only cares about consequences, so let's give him consequences. I still do care for Mitchell, but not enough anymore. For now, I shall do my last bad act, and we shall see if that can truly make me happy enough where I can go back to eating healthy vegetables, drinking vitamin waters, doing my skincare, embracing my natural hair, taking care of, like, decorating my bedroom, doing laundry, going on dates and reading books, and embracing a life that is so good that I forget I ever met him. And then if anyone even says the name Mitchell, I won't flinch, I won't scream, I won't care. Because he will be nothing to me, and I will fully repress his memory. Thank you. Goodbye.